This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Listening to this podcast instead of doom scrolling? Smart move. Another smart move? Getting help from one of State Farm's 19,000 local agents when you choose to bundle home and auto. Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Hey everybody, I'm Mike Reno from Loverboy.
Hi, this is Joe Satriani.
Hey, I am Brandy Rhodes.
Hey, I'm UFC fighter CB Dollaway.
Clay Milliken, driver of the Parts Plus, Great Clips, Top Fuel Dragster.
What's up, world? This is your favorite comic, Tony Rock.
Hey guys, this is Kendra Sunderland, Vixen Angel of the Year.
Hey, this is Jimmy Chamberlain.
Hey, it's your boy J-Rock from Sunnyvale Trailer Park. You know, I'm Sierra and you listen to my boy T-Biscuit on the Toddcast Podcast. I'm out like I sold something.
The Toddcast Podcast is powered by Citywide Mortgage Services, providing complete financing and mortgage services for residential and small commercial businesses. Visit them at citywidemortgage.ca.
Now, here's your host, Todd Hancock.
Talk to most anyone of your circle of friends, your family, work acquaintances, whatever, and they will likely have a near-death story, like a brush with death, heart-pounding, edge-of-your-seat, adrenaline-fueled story. And maybe they've stared death literally in the face and lived to tell about it, kind of thing. You've heard us do several of this style of podcast over the years because most people have a story to share, and most usually want to share that story. Suddenly being face-to-face with a grizzly bear, or a split-second decision made during a car crash, trapped underwater, near drowning, scary airplane rides, kidnapped at gunpoint. You've heard a story like that on this podcast. You name it, stories about survival and how your natural instincts kind of take over and they fight against the odds. My name is Todd Hancock. I mentioned at our last podcast wrap-up that I've had several near-death moments in my lifetime. Almost smoked by a train on like grade 3. This is up in Kitimat, crossing a bridge, and my foot gets stuck between the tracks. So I eventually left the shoe running, and I'm jumping at the end of the bridge, and the rush of the train is pushing me as I jumped. It was crazy stuff. This week, you will hear from 9 guests as they recount their near-death moments in their lives. 3 are in sports: a retired BC Lions offensive lineman, a WBFF World Bikini Champion, and a retired Vancouver Canucks goaltender. 3 are in entertainment: a Sons of Anarchy actress, an MTV reality TV star, and a Canadian cultural icon. You will hear from this week's musical guests in just a second. One of Canada's most successful singer-songwriters, the singer of one of Canada's best rock bands, and the guitarist of one of Kentucky's finest rock exports. And coming up shortly in Stop Me If You've Heard This Before, IFBB pro Monica Brandt talks about the term bad calories and how that's changed over the years. That is powered by FKP MMA, 3-year sponsor. Love these guys. And I'm not just saying it because they trained my youngest, Levi goes, but they teach you self-defense and they help build your self-esteem. You meet people that are like-minded, same kind of interests as you. Trust that you will learn to protect yourself and those that you love. I mean, they train UFC heavyweight Caillou Bigfoot Machado, for crying out loud. Vancouver's #1 training destination. Find out more through fkpmma.com. First, let's hear some near-death stories from this week's musical guests, all of whom are powered by the Hawkins Sound Ranch, another champion of all things indie. We've known each other for decades. Corey, the owner, was in a couple of killer local bands here when he was in Vancouver. I played them from time to time on CFox as I was, doing their Indie Night in Canada show. Bottom line, get over 20 years experience with them and use their state-of-the-art studio as well. Get Corey to take your band up a notch. Commercial sound on an indie budget. Check them out through thehawkinssoundranch.com. Of course, they're kicking around on social media as well. So chances are, as mentioned, most people have had a brush with death, whatever it is. It's a close call on the road. Maybe they've almost drowned or a wood chipper malfunction, whatever it is. And of course, these moments have a lasting impression on us, right? Reminding us about the fragility, I guess, without being cheesy, the fragility of life, right? You've known about Blue Rodeo since 1984, 14 studio albums, 4 million albums sold, 11 Juno Awards, inductees into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. Singer Jim Cuddy shared a near-death story with us.
I had one really bad one where it was sort of the early part of having a cell phone, and I was at an office downtown, and I was staring at the phone, and I'm a really inveterate jaywalker, and I was just about to run out from behind a car, and for some reason I decided not to. And had I run out, I would have been hit by a truck. Because I didn't see the truck because it was a streetcar I was running behind, and the truck was right there. And I thought, first of all, it changed my habits. Not about jaywalking. I'm still an inveterate jaywalker, but it changed my habits about the phone.
Right, staring down at the phone. And
I don't ever do that anymore. But yeah, that would have been it.
Yeah.
That truly would have been it.
Yeah.
Because I was just about to dart, and I would have been hit.
They're thinking about imposing fines for people that are walking on crosswalks and stuff looking at their phone.
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
Not a bad idea.
It makes sense.
Not a bad idea, yeah. We'll take you from the singer of one of Canada's best rock bands to a Canadian singer-songwriter with 7 studio albums, 6 Juno Awards, including Artist of the Year, critical acclaim, commercial success. Listen to Serena Ryder tell her story.
I was over the Atlantic Ocean coming from Paris to go to Toronto, and what was it? Rolling Stone magazine or something was coming the next day for me to show them around Toronto.
Wow.
And I was over the ocean, and a little girl who had come and sat on my lap, like I love kids. And so she was like, can I come play? And I was like, yeah. She sat on my lap. I'm like, what's your name? She's like, Serena, which is so strange.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, wow, so is mine. Like we're drawing pictures, and then all of a sudden we hear the captain come over the speaker and say, I am sorry, we have to go back over the ocean. We have a gas leakage on the plane. We have to turn around and go back. And so the plane, like we turned back around because we were we were like almost halfway, but not quite. So we had to go back. So we're going back, and then as we're landing, we can see gas spurting out the side where the wing. You can see like gas spurting out.
What?
Yeah. And the girl had gone back to her parents. Obviously, I was like, there was a mini me, a child self sitting on my lap. I'm in a plane. Rolling Stone's coming tomorrow. I don't know what's going on. And like people were freaking out. There was a woman in the front being like, I'm going to smoke a cigarette. I don't care. I'm just going to smoke now. like have a last cigarette or something before she goes down. And then the plane's going like, and you can see ambulances and fire trucks and stuff as we're landing. We landed, and then we stayed on the plane for like 2 hours because it was around the time where like you weren't allowed to just get off the plane or unscheduled landings around 9/11 and stuff. It was years after, but
yeah.
So we got like another, like a thing attached to the side of it, and we had to jump out and slide down it like that.
Oh my God, you've done that? Oh my God.
Yeah. And then we went back, got to Toronto, and then they lost all my luggage. I didn't know where my hotel was. Rolling Stone was coming. That next day I had no clothes. I had no credit card at the time.
And here you are today.
Right.
And from one of Canada's premier singer-songwriters to an American rock band formed in 2001, 7 studio albums, closing in on 2 million albums sold, huge tours, loyal fan base, massive riffs. Blackstone Cherry guitarist Ben Wells shared a scary road story.
A couple years ago, it was February. My wife and I are driving to Bowling Green, Kentucky, which is about 30 minutes from here. And we just had a big snow. And the snow and ice. And the snow was melting, and it was gone, but it was still really cold out. So there was some still ice like on tops of people's cars. And we're on the interstate cruising along, and this car, like this Jeep SUV, comes in front of me. When they come in front of me, this huge piece of ice slides off the top of their car, right? And I remember looking at it, and it was we're talking a gigantic chunk of ice. And it was like twirling in the air. And before I could even do anything, it hit my windshield, driver's side, shattered my windshield. I'm on the interstate, and I panicked. So I pulled off to the left, which is not the right spot to be when you need it, because trucks are flying by me, but I knew I had to get off the road because I couldn't see anything. I was in total shock. I remember looking at I was shaking. There was glass in my mouth. And we were both covered in glass. And anyway, called the police, and they had to tow us off the road. And I remember thinking at that point, if my glass had cracked anymore, I could have been impaled, by a piece of ice. And I was like, this is unbelievable. I was shook to my core.
Holy shit!
If you get on my Instagram or something, if you have Instagram, I posted photos. If you scroll back, I posted photos as like an awareness thing, like, hey, get the tops of your cars, people, because as this starts to melt, that ice is still frozen, and especially like coming off semi trucks, you just hear about these crazy, Final Destination type accidents.
Sure, yeah, sheets of ice just slicing through butter. Especially
when your car's going, 70, 75 miles an hour, and it comes off and it hits your windshield. But thank God for Dodge windshields, because they were strong enough to not bust right through, but it was completely shattered.
Nice. This part of the podcast brought to you by Dodge.
Yeah, right.
Toddcast Podcast musical guest visits are powered by the Hawkins Sound Ranch. Use their 20-plus years of experience to record at their state-of-the-art studio. Commercial sound on an indie budget. Visit thehawkinssoundranch.com for more.
I've been your fool for a while now. Played in the old games. I'd be your fool for a smile, girl, 'cause I just don't got the same. You pull me by my strings, say I'm the star of your puppet show. You don't want me to think, you just want me to play along. But it ends with a heartache. It ends with a heartache. Dirty little heartbreaker. It ends with a heartache. I've been your fool for a while now. I'm still playing your game.
now, stop me if you've heard this before on the Toddcast podcast.
You'll likely know Monica Brandt, even if her name isn't ringing a bell. She's a retired IFBB pro figure competitor, has been on the cover of over 100 international fitness magazines. Monica won Miss Fitness Olympia back in 1998, retired after winning the WBFF World Pro Figure Championships in 2013, a straight-up icon in the fitness industry. And when Monica was a guest, we talked about a lot of things fitness, like personal trainers, nutrition, workouts. We got into things like UFO sightings, binge watching Tiger King, going to church, seeing George Strait in concert. Star Wars and Star Trek came up, so did American Idol. And stop me if you've heard this before, Monica talked about bad calories and how that term has changed over the years.
Bad calories is more, I think, acceptable to say because, yeah, there's a lot of bad, a margarita's bad calories, right?
No.
Fried food is bad calories.
Yeah.
Fried chips, bad calories. You put it with guacamole, well, the guacamole's typically good calories. But, so if you're looking at it like that, that's not so much like attaching it to the personal.
Right.
Now, right, because if you say I'm cheating, it's personal. If you're taking in bad calories, well, the bad calories is not about you personal, it's about that food.
Right.
So then, and I think, people kind of know more or less, and there's some gray areas for people that haven't really done a lot of research on nutrition or haven't been taught or told or, younger kids sometimes. So here's kind of an interesting thing. Like when I was in my early 20s and trying to learn about nutrition, we were taught that fats are bad for you, right? So bad for you. And I remember thinking, feeling as I started learning more about it, feeling guilty that I cooked my chicken in butter. Now, what I know now, that was the best thing I could have done is cook my chicken in butter because now I'm taking a protein, which protein can raise insulin and can raise, blood sugars. Mm-hmm. It can help cause your body to produce a little bit more insulin than, say, butter would. So when you throw the butter on it, then we're not allowing blood sugars to kind of spike. We're keeping our blood more stable, the blood sugars more stable. So we're not going to have we'll have less of an insulin spike, which is healthier.
Stop Me If You've Heard This Before on the Toddcast podcast is powered by FKP MMA, Vancouver's #1 training destination at fkpmma.com. And now, highlighting our next Blue Light Sessions, powered in part by Canadian Club Whiskey. Meet your new cold one. We serve Canadian Club and Ginger ready-to-drink cocktails at all of our live shows. Visit CanadianClub.com today.
Take the chances living on the run.
band like that, songs like that, you got to think this next show for us is going to be pretty damn special. So the band is called Another Joe, and that's new to the podcast. It's called Mexico. And you're what, 1 month and anally, or 1 month and 1 day away from seeing them at the Blue Light Studio in East Vancouver, beautiful East Vancouver. They're headlining our next live show on Friday, July 26th. Another Joe and Total Shock. And we'll play something from Total Shock later on in the podcast. We try to keep these nights pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Each band gets a 45-minute set. I interview the bands for the first maybe 15, 20 minutes of each of their shows while they're performing, and you can ask the band questions as well. Hell, we've had audience members come up and play something with a band. Rehearsed. There was nothing planned. Just super cool, super fun nights. Definitely intimate, definitely interactive. You can save a few bucks right now if you grab a ticket through eventbrite.ca. Eventbrite, BRITE.ca. It's $20 right now. Search out Toddcast Podcast. You can't miss the shows. It's $25 if you want to gamble, because we only let 60 people in. There's only 60 tickets printed and sold. So if you want to go, make sure you grab a ticket, and then obviously you'll get in that way. Doors are at 7, shows at 8:15, something like that. You heard Chase the Bear and what was that? You heard Chase the Bear and their song Heartache, without question, one of the best rock bands in Vancouver, crushing live. I mean, great songs, good players, really good dudes. Recorded with Danny Craig. If that name's ringing a bell, that's Default's drummer. And somehow Mr. Craig just pulls something out of those guys, pulls something out of those kids. Love it. And Chase the Bear is playing a show in Chilliwack in mid-July. That's on Saturday, July 13th at Corky's Irish Pub. That's pretty cool. Was that not a sports bar? Back in the day, I think it was, right? Regardless, if you're in that neck of the woods, July 13th, make the effort to be there. I promise you, Chase the Bear will blow you away. All right? So coming up in just a few minutes, in Listen to This, actor Zach Ward shares his near-death story. And it's, so check this out. It's about sailing his boat from Australia all the way up to Japan. And he shares that story. That's powered by 8-year sponsor, No Brakes. No breaks at all. Tedco RV Supplies in Langley. RV service, repairs, ICBC accredited. A key reason, straight up, that we're able to continue to create the podcasts year in, year out. Unwavering support. They love the indies and the underdog, and of course, big love back. You can find them online through Facebook, kicking around on Twitter as well, at Tedco RV Supplies. First, back to more near-death stories, this time from our sporting guests, all of whom are powered by hand-over-hand textiles in Vancouver, naturally dyed goods for your home, to your body, everything literally from shirts and socks to bandanas, dishcloths, scarves, and pillowcases. And all of it is really like top-notch stuff, though. It's like all of it is handmade, so everything is super unique. The stuff that you'll find in like a specialty store, maybe on Commercial Drive or something like that, they only use pure plant extracts, natural fibers. Everything's created with Mother Earth in mind. Locally owned as well, locally operated. You can find them through handoverhandtextiles.com. They're also kicking around on Instagram too. So the fact is that you're faced with mortality pretty much on a day-to-day basis, right? Whether it's driving on the roads, or you're at the mercy of the crappiest of crappy drivers then, right? Or it's an outdoor adventure that maybe could go a little bit wrong because something could go south, a sudden health scare or whatever it is. And, when you think about it, those moments can really give you a newfound appreciation for life. Professional athletes run that risk, right? Every time that they suit up, especially when you're talking about an impact sport like football. So Angus Reid was an offensive lineman for the BC Lions in the CFL from 2001 through 2014. He won 2 Grey Cup championships, a team leader. He was honored as a CFL PA All-Star. So listen to Angus's near-death story.
Wow, no. I should not say near death. When I was in the 8th grade, my appendix had blown for 6 days before I told anybody. Because, again, I'm stubborn and I didn't want to miss basketball tryouts.
Holy crap, dude. I had an appendix taken out up in Prince George about 15 years ago, and it was the worst pain ever. And mine was at the point of almost breaking.
Yeah, mine blew.
You could die from that.
No, I should have died. So apparently I was like BC record holder, which isn't a record you want. Longest going with a...
most stubborn kid.
Yeah, just complete idiot, right? I had to wait till I'm losing blood all day to go tell my mom my stomach's hurting. I just thought I'd pulled a muscle. So I had surgery in I grew up in Richmond General, And when you have surgery after an appendix is blown, all the surgery is basically a vacuum goes in and tries to suck the poison before it kills you because it's already blown, right?
Right.
And I knew there was problems when they transferred me from Richmond to Children's because Richmond couldn't take care of me. There's a problem when a hospital can't take care of you.
Right.
Anyways, long story short,
Holy
I was
crap,
in Children's for about 6 or 7 weeks, kind of rotting away, just having I just had the tubes in my stomach, then the tubes down my nose, not eating, not doing anything. And I was raised Catholic, so I had last rites read to me, family flown home for a funeral. Like it was, I'm not going to make it. And I didn't have a near-death experience per se, but I did, in the middle of the night, lean to my mom and kiss her goodbye, telling her I'm closing my eyes, I'm going to die. And so I didn't have that light thing, but I had the feeling that there was nothing left in me and I don't have the energy to fight. I mean, I was a 13-year-old kid, and I knew I could close my eyes and die. I knew I could end this, and I had the feeling of having zero life left in me in terms of energy and not wanting to even try to fight because there was nothing to fight with. And I was at the point of closing my eyes and going to sleep. And, my mom, tough Irish Catholic, just screamed at me and told me to get up. And she pulled me out of bed and walked me through the hospital, wouldn't let me close my eyes. And we got through the morning and not near death, not that, but I'm out of the hospital 3 days later. So I was part of what I call a miracle. Don't ask me how, but she pulled me through when I was ready to kind of shut it down. And and that's probably another reason why I've stubbornly lived my life of never actually quitting on things. Once I go through because I learned that lesson young that you don't ever quit on yourself. You don't give up. And so that was a big turning point in my life. And to be honest, that knocked me out physically for so long. I never played sports till grade 11.
Take you from a retired CFL offensive lineman to last year's WBFF World Bikini Champion, an incredible fitness journey that takes dedication and determination, as you'll hear in the full conversation. It's quite a prestigious title. She's a prominent figure in the fitness industry. Check out Heidi Cannon's story.
I feel like every time I do a wine tour with one of my best friends, I was like, how did we survive through that? We go on these like 3-day epic wine tours and they end up I did stunts, so I don't know, I was lit on fire. I've been, I don't know, jumped out of
willingly set on fire.
Willingly set on fire. Yes.
That's awesome. Would you say that's one of your coolest jobs you've had?
I think so. I think it was cool, but it's a lot, those are long days and it's not always glamorous. You're just sitting around.
Did you ever get hurt at all? Like substantially?
No. Did I have? No, I didn't. Thank God. But no, I was okay. But it was.
There's chances of that all the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And this was like, oh my God, when I was young, so I could have bounced back right away many moons ago.
It gets worse and worse too as you get older, right?
No, it's not fun, is it? When we get older, oh God, mid-30s onwards is wow, it's been tough. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. You gotta rethink the way that you used to live.
Totally.
And from a WBFF World Bikini Champion to a retired Vancouver Canucks goaltender known for his resilience and his online charisma. He's left a lasting legacy in Vancouver's hockey history, and everyone loves Eddie Lack.
I have one thing that I remember from when I was younger, and I was biking, and we had this blocked intersection kind of where you couldn't see behind the wall what was coming, right? And I was biking in full speed right across in the intersection, and this car just slammed the brakes on me. And that's one thing that I remember, how freaking stupid that I could have been, right?
That's 2 seconds away from just smoked.
That's my closest, what the hell are you doing? You could have died, right?
Yeah. And how old were you then?
I was probably 11 or 12 years old or something. And
So you knew better.
Yeah, I knew better.
The Toddcast podcast is powered by Milano Coffee, bringing you the finest espresso and coffee concepts in the world. Online at milanocoffee.ca.
to go steady, but I was trouble when I came around. 18, I wasn't ready. You needed a man who could settle down. I started moving like a rolling stone. Yeah, thought about you on the way home, but I still couldn't stay. You cried and I cried. We went our own way. Long down the night. Call it a blessing in disguise. Call it a curse if you want to. I know I took you by surprise. To tell you the truth, I didn't know what to do. I thought that maybe I could find myself, but turns out I probably could've used help. But I still couldn't stay. When you cried, I cried. We went our own way. I started moving like a rolling stone. Thought about you on the way home, but I still couldn't stay. You cried and I cried. We went our own way. We went our own way, yeah. Tough to do.
And now, listen to this on the Toddcast podcast.
If your family is anything at all like mine, chances are you've seen the same 10 to 12 Christmas movies every year since the 80s. The Grinch, Elf, Die Hard, Christmas Vacation, A Christmas Story, You'll Shoot Your Eye Out, Kid. Actor Zach Ward and I follow each other on social media. Zach played Scut Farkas, the bully, in A Christmas Story. So it's super cool to have him on the podcast. A Christmas Story, arguably the best Christmas movie of all time. And you've seen Zach in other great stuff over the years as well. He was Dave on Titus, the stoner half-brother. You've seen him on NCIS, Lost, and Crossing Jordan. He's had roles in Almost Famous, Transformers. He was in Resident Evil Apocalypse, Freddy vs. Jason. And we got into it with Zach. 35 minutes is a fair chunk of time. He talked about how his brother influenced the movies that they watched. He talked about binge-watching shows. Aliens Visiting Earth came up. So did Legal Weed. Zach talked about superpowers, how he was a drama nerd in high school. And Zach shared a near-death story about sailing his boat from Australia to Japan. Listen to this.
Yeah, I've had a bunch of those. Scariest one in a boat sailing from Australia to Japan in a typhoon, and the ship submarined, and then when it came out, it rolled over on the other side, and I got thrown out of the wheelhouse because I was steering the ship at 3:30 in the morning, and there was this tiny little railing made out of galvanized plumbing, about an inch thick, and I was going to the drink, and it was 16-foot tall swells, waves, sorry, and just to put in perspective, if there's a 1-foot tall swell and you fall over the side, I can't see your head.
Wow.
It's just no way to see you. So 16 feet is like you're gone.
Yeah.
And you're gone, and drowning is one of the worst ways to die. So I hit the side of this railing, and I'm going into the drink, and I'm holding on, and I break like 3 ribs, and I fall back inside, and I'm just like crying like a bitch. I'm 19 years old, and I'm just terrified. And the whole boat submarine. They're not supposed to do that. And then my captain comes up across the gangway, across the deck of the ship, putting himself on the rope, and comes up in the wheelhouse, takes the wheel, and I go back to the bench behind the map table. And the second I'm on that bench, I pass out and go to sleep. Like, I'm going to sleep well, out. But it was that moment. Like, I was literally standing on the wall, because when the ship went under submarine, it was all the way over to its port side. So it's left as you're facing forward.
Yeah. Holy shit.
And it was all the way over. And the mast we were all underwater. So I was standing on the wall to stand upright.
Listen to this on the Toddcast podcast is brought to you by Tedco RV Supplies in Langley, an ICBC-approved repair shop. Visit them on Facebook and Twitter at Tedco RV Supplies.
He's still working in the Chevron. Don't know he got his head on. I was sitting on my way out of town. I thought he was just hanging around, but he never got out of suburbia. 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 He's got 5 DUIs. Gotta say it comes as no surprise. He's got a girlfriend at his mom's house. She ain't up because they never go out. But he never got out of suburbia. 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 Never got out. Never got out. Never got out of suburbia. 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 Never got out, never heard of you. Never got out, never got out, never got out of suburbia. Never got out, never got out, never got out of suburbia. 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 Never got out, never heard of you. Never got out of suburbia. Never got out of suburbia. Never got out of suburbia. Never got out, never heard of you.
Never got out of suburbia. The band is called Total Shock, and a new song for the podcast. It's called Suburbia. A little back and forth with Tyler from the band, and they're excited to play a podcast show with us. So they're opening up the night for Another Joe. We've played Another Joe earlier on. You're only, as mentioned, a month away from that show. Grab a ticket right now before you can't. As mentioned, there's only 60 tickets available. Again, next month on Friday, July 26th at Blue Light Studio. Another Joe and Total Shock together, a night of Vancouver punk rock. As always, we'll open up those doors for some pre-drinks at 7. Usually have things fired up by about 8:15, 8:20, kind of something like that. I played you Matt Storm, and his song was called We Went Our Own Ways. He is playing at Green Auto in East Vancouver this Thursday. So it's June 27th. I hear that that's a new album release party. Odd that it doesn't say who's opening up the show on the poster anyway. It's $17. That's decent, not bad, especially considering how amazing Matt is live. He was part of a show that we did with Ivan Hartle. I guess it was last year at this point. Stupendous player, super, super engaging as well. So expect that to be a great night. Speaking of live music, find a list of shows that you should be going to that we think that is worth your time, I guess, with the indie scene at toddhancock.ca. If you're playing a show if you're going to a show and it's indie, let me know about it. I will post it up at the website, get some free advertising for the show, maybe a song on the cast as well, assuming that, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, assuming I have your music. That is, right? Okay, so let's get back to more near-death stories in this episode 337. And this week's entertainment guests, powered for the last time, might I add, by Humane Solutions, and a big thanks to Joe, the owner, for giving me a break on the cost to rid my house of rats. What a crazy thing to say. If you have a problem with rodents, use these guys. Their tech, Dylan, may have been wearing a cape when he came by my house. And, I'd used a different company prior to them, which eventually I found out was a very big mistake and a complete waste of money, truly. Humane Solutions will look for entry points into your house or business or wherever it is, close off all but one, and then they install a one-way door so that the rodents can get out of your house, but they can't get back in. It's simple, right? It's a very simple concept. Just want you to know that you have options, all right? You don't have to use a company that will set up traps and keep coming back to check them. It's a nonstop cycle of wasting your money, all right? So get a quote through humanesolutions.ca. So every day there are moments that, you could say that they're near death. The close call crossing the street, or it's an unexpected animal encounter, or whatever it is, a health scare. And while these moments are often overlooked, they shouldn't go unnoticed, right? Or certainly without their story being told. You'll best know actress Kristen Renton from her roles in Sons of Anarchy and Days of Our Lives. And now from this near-death story.
Yes, actually.
Really?
Several.
Okay. What's going on?
Well, let's see. I had several near-death experiences when I was younger, but I also had an out-of-body experience.
Come on. Really? What happened?
Yes. I was in 7th grade, and I had been very sick for probably about 3-4 days, pretty much bedridden. I got up from bed to use the restroom, and that was it. I had not been out of bed. I had about 104 fever, really, really sick. I woke up this one day. It was probably my 4th day being in bed. And for some reason, I was like, you know what, I want some OJ. So I get out of bed, having not really stood up for 4 days. I get out of bed and I walk into my kitchen. And as I'm pouring the OJ, it was literally like a curtain was coming down over my eyes. Everything started to just kind of fade away and go black. And in my head, I'm like, I can still make it back to my bed, which was ridiculous. I couldn't. I ended up fainting and hitting my head on our pocket door that separates the main house to where my bedroom was. And then I hit my head on the tile. And next thing I know, I'm looking down at my mom, who's running over, scoops me up, puts her hand under my head and puts her other hand underneath my legs and is saying my name and trying to pick me up. And she does. She picks me up and she walks through the pocket door into the bedroom. And I don't follow her. So I'm looking down at her and I can see. It's so funny. The one thing that I remember is I remember looking down at my mom and going, wow, she's got like a little bald spot on the back of her head. And then the next thing I know, I'm waking up in my bed. And apparently I had been passed out for about 10 minutes.
Wow.
And it was really, really scary because when I woke up, I'm like, okay, I was just looking down at my mom. Now I'm looking up at my mom. What's going on? It was really scary. But,
wow.
Now it makes for a good story.
Yeah, exactly. Take you from an actress to a reality TV personality who you'll know from her appearances on The Challenge series, where she won over the audience with her competitiveness and her charm. She is a spring breaker from Susie Meister's team, the champ of the Spring Break Challenge, Battle of the Exes, Dirty 30. Listen to MTV's Camila Nakagawa and her near-death story.
Even my producers sometimes, well, all the time, they have to pull me aside and they have to remind me that they don't want me to die.
Right.
And they're like, we know and understand that you have zero regards for your own life. And that's kind of what people from the show say, that it's like, you got to watch out for Camila because she will do anything to win, including, like, kill herself or hurt herself. I just don't know where it comes from. It's this adrenaline that just takes over, and I will do anything and everything that I have to do. And one time we had this competition where we had this platform that kept how do I explain this? This is so hard for me to explain, but it's this platform that goes up and down. So you can, like a slide, right? So it goes up one way, then it goes up the other way.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like two ropes coming from the middle of this platform. And that's all I have to hold on to. And it's me and this girl, because all the other girls fell off the platform already. And we're like 30, 40 feet above water. And this platform is just swinging up and down. And we're just swinging with the platform.
Wow.
And it starts moving faster and faster. And it's pretty much who can hold on to the rope the longest, right? As this thing is tossing you around like a doll. My friend was just, holding on to the rope. Me, on the other hand, I'm like, okay, wait a second, strategy.
Yeah, wrap it around
they
your
never
wrist.
said that you can't wrap it around your neck and around your body. So here I am.
Yeah.
I wrapped this. Well, my idea was to just kind of sit on the rope, kind of wrap it around my butt, and just so I was just kind of sitting on it. But somehow that thing started tossing me around. The rope ended up completely around my neck.
Wow.
And production was just like screaming, like, Camila, you gotta untangle. And I ended up winning, and my friend ended up really mad at me because she was like, you cheated. I was like, I did not cheat. It was called strategy. But trust me, my strategy was not to put the rope around my neck either, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So
just happened that way.
They said that I literally looked like my neck was going to just break at any point.
Brutal.
So, yeah.
And from one of MTV's reality TV stars to a Canadian icon who gained his fame as a host on Much Music back in the day, an ornery sock, irreverent humor, a memorable hosting slot at Woodstock 99, an undeniable star in Canadian media, a cultural phenomenon, really. Yes, even Ed the Sock has a near-death story.
Once, with Bret Hart, the wrestler.
Oh, yeah? What
You know
happened?
Bret Hart?
Yeah, of course I do. Yeah, he's been a guest.
Yeah, we were doing a thing at the MMVAs. There was this shtick where we were all playing cards, and supposedly I was cheating. And he finds that I've got some cards hidden up my sock. Ha ha, very funny. I didn't write this bit. Anyway, and then he's supposed to get mad and choke me. Okay, I guess no one told him, or maybe he's a method actor or something. But the guy started actually choking me. Like, we're live on TV, and Bret Hart has these crazy eyes, and I thought I was dead. I thought that was the end of me. Dead by Bret Hart. I don't think to this day he remembers it, because I'm not sure exactly where his mental state was when it happened. But that was a near-death experience. Also, when talking to Vanilla Ice, that was a near brain death experience.
Red Truck Beer. You never forget your first truck. Official beer of the Toddcast podcast.
I'm so sure, but I'm kind of a loner. Spend most of my time alone in my home. But I look like a butterfly when I'm out on the town. Yes, I know. And no matter how hard I try, it's at least 2 drinks down. So I can call
I guess. Oh, you grow and you change some, take a step back and reassess. Oh, hey, I'm all alone in this room. My feet ache and there's a pungent perfume. I know I'm standing by myself. I wanna connect with someone else, but I take out my phone so I don't look like a weirdo standing on my own. Oh, hey, I'm all alone in this room. My feet ache and there's a pungent perfume. I know I'm standing by myself. I wanna connect with someone else, but I take out my phone so I don't look like a weirdo standing on my own. Don't look like a weirdo standing on my own. Don't look like a weirdo standing on my own.
Boy, that one can sure hit close to home, hey? I think we've all been there, done that. Her name is Cara Bateman, and a new song for her called Social Loner. It's new to the podcast as well. You've been hearing that one on BCIT's campus radio station, Evolution 107.9, for the last month and a half or so. Great song on air. And in case you missed it, we just announced, just a few days ago, in fact, September 20th, Emily Malloy and Cara Bateman are doing a podcast, Blue Light Sessions, together. This is volume 30. You can grab your tickets right now while you still can. Again, we'll only do 60 tickets. We print 60 tickets for our shows. That's it. So through eventbrite.ca, if you want to make sure you get in, go grab a ticket right now. This is going to be one hell of a night, a singer's night, really. Both Emily and Cara are fantastic. Really, really looking forward to not only that, but the next podcast, Oh Canada 2024 edition. You'll hear 9 Canadian-born guests and some key highlights from their visits. Among them, Nickelback singer Chad Kruger, NHL Hall of Fame goaltender Grant Fuhr, and former Much Music VJ Erica M. It's a fun week planned for you for next week. Much like this week, love putting this style of podcast together and kind of, combing through the archives and finding cool stories and whatever it is, heartbreaking stories or funny stories or scary stories like you get with these Near Death Stories podcasts. As I've said throughout the podcast, death is all around us. It surrounds us. From narrowly avoiding the car accident to a split-second decision, the unpredictability of it all, like there's a beauty in that. Right? I think there is. And of course, I wanted to give a big thanks to this week's guests. Some were guests from 8 years ago. And in building these podcasts, often you have to go back in time, right? And find the best stories and stuff that I know that you'll like. So thanks to the guests for this week for humoring us. And we're pushing and promoting their lives and their careers for long after the fact. All right. So thank you. Let's put this one to bed. Episode 337. My name is Todd Hancock. Thank you again for listening and for being there. If you like what you heard, please do tell your friends about us. It's a huge way of how we grow. We know that for sure. We get people coming up and saying, hey, my buddy Dave said this is a great podcast or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like we see it online and, people reach out. So thank you for that. We are part of the Realm.fm network. Realm.fm. They're based out of New York City. A fantastic, worldwide distribution, but a fantastic network of podcasts, fiction and nonfiction. All right. So super thankful for that, of course. You can subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Megaphone. We post all of our videos, all of our live stuff we do at the Blue Light Studio at YouTube on our YouTube channel. Comment and rate the podcast on all those platforms. It helps out big time. It basically just shows the search engine what we're all about. And anyway, so please do that through Toddcast Podcast. Huge thanks to all of our wonderful sponsors. Find all sponsor links at toddhancock.ca. Go to their websites through our website. If you want to sponsor the podcast, you can for as little as $10 a day. Contact info is at the homepage. Maybe we'll have a beer, have a coffee, and see what's up. Maybe we can help each other. And if you help us find a sponsor, as always, we will give you a commission based on the buy. All right? Okay, cool. Till next time, don't be an asshole. Nobody wants to be around that. Have fun, play hard, and most of all, believe in yourself.
You've been listening to the Toddcast Podcast, powered by Citywide Mortgage Services, dedicated to helping you find the best mortgage rates. Available 7 days a week at citywidemortgage.ca.
Ouch. This knee is killing me, but I can't stop training. The marathon is in 2 weeks.
Let's get on ZocDoc and find a doctor to take a look at that for you.
Okay.
Here's a review. Dr. Craddock really takes his time.
No, I don't have time.
What about Dr. Charles? His patients say he can help find a quick fix, and he's in network.
Great, now we're talking. Book it.
Booked. 1 mile down, 19 to go.
Bring it on.
You've got options. Download the ZocDoc app today.
The right window treatments change everything. Your sleep, your privacy, the way every room looks and feels. At Blinds.com, we've spent 30 years making it surprisingly simple to get exactly what your home needs. We've covered over 25 million windows and have 50,000 five-star reviews to prove we deliver. Whether you DIY it or want a pro to handle everything from measure to install, we have you covered. Real design professionals, free samples, zero pressure. Right now, get up to 50% off with minimum purchase, plus get a free professional measure at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions apply.
Hi, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. Are you looking for a beach read this summer? May I suggest your big wireless bill? It's got suspense, mystery, a slightly flat emotional arc, and a shocking twist where you realize you've been overpaying the entire time. Fortunately, though, Mint's story is better. Every plan, $15 a month, even unlimited. That's it. Happy ending. Zero tears. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.